Hey everybody, this is Richard from HouseGaming coming at you today with 5 tips for newer players when you're starting out this game. So before we dive into that, first, intro. Alright everybody, so some of my tips for newer players today is tip number 1, look for seagulls. If you see a bunch of them gathered up like this, it's going to be a sunken ship. So look for that because you'll have tons of mats there. You'll have, as well as tons of mats, you'll have a bunch of like loot that could be possible there. Some rare fish. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And if you don't see as much seagulls as this, so I think it's like more than 8. If you see a little bit of seagull flocks, that means it's barrels. So that will have mats and the barrels will be floating on top. So definitely make sure to grab those. Now we'll make it on to tip number 2 coming up in a second. All right, coming up to tip number 2, approaching an island. When you come to approach an island, it's okay to hit the anchor if you want. But once you hit the anchor, don't just go to the island. What you're going to want to do is, of course, first check the horizons to see if there's any ships or any pirates that are coming for your loot. If not, what you're going to want to do is raise the sail all the way up. And once the sail's all the way up, we're going to lift the anchor up. And once the anchor's all the way up, now, if a ship does come in that we're not expecting, we could either jump to the ship, take off quick before it comes and hits you, or turn in place so when it comes up, we could get on their broadside and not be on theirs. Tip number 3, harpoon lock. A lot of people don't know, but there is a way to lock the harpoon. For PC, it's if you hit the R button. R is in Richard. You'll hear that sound. That means it's locked in. So let's say if you're harpooning a ship and they're probably going to be shooting at you. So you harpoon lock and then you could shoot back as well as still be harpooned. And for controller and Xbox, I believe it's your left trigger button. Tip number 4 is sword lunge. I know in the tutorial video it teaches you how to sword lunge by just holding your left click, and you see how far I move. It's not that far. If you hold block first and then hold your sword and jump as you're doing it, you see how much farther you get. Because if you just do your basic one, jump, you're not going to be able to move, you're not going to be able to jump. If you hold block, you can move around while doing it, and as you lunge, you hit spacebar. It could be the difference too. Let's say I'm jumping to this island with this basic sword lunge, I'm not going to make it. But with this sword lunge, I could jump right over and get to the island. So again, to reiterate, you're going to want to block and then hold sword lunge, because see, I could still move and lunge at the same time as well. All right, tip number 5 is keg placement. If you're going to bring a keg to your ship, please, for all that is holy, don't do this. I don't want to see it. Do not put a keg at the bottom of your ship. Because what's going to happen if it's at the bottom? If you're shooting someone with a cannon, someone's coming here, you're trying to shoot them, they get a shot, they hit that keg's going to blow up, you're going to blow up, your ship will sink, and then boom, 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 to the bottom of Davy Jones you go with ye treasure. You don't want that to happen. So I would recommend not even having these gunpowder barrels, these kegs in your ship. But if you do want to have a keg in your ship, the best place to have it is putting it on your crow's nest. You're going to bring it up your crow's nest like so, and then you're going to want to put it right here, in behind here, and that way it's going to minimize the damage. People aren't going to be able to hit it as well. As you can see, I can't really aim, and if they do manage to hit it, all that's going to happen is your mast is going to go down and there's going to be fire at the top deck. You'll still be alive and there should be no holes in your deck, and you won't go to Davy Jones' locker. Well, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed these tips. I do have one more bonus tip for you too if you're a PC player, and that is your weapon switches. Normally, right now, my 2 is sniper, my one is sword. Some people might not know this. Let's say somebody's boarding on this side of the ladder. Generally, if they're boarding up, what they're going to do is run right for your anchor and drop down your anchor. What I'm going to do to make it quicker is I'll get my first shot off with having my weapon. I'm going to mouse scroll wheel and finish the chop up with the sword. So a lot of people don't know this, but if you do your mouse scroll wheel, it will switch between your sniper and your sword, your two weapons. If you have sniper blundy or sniper sword, your mouse scroll wheel will switch in between them. So you don't have to hotkey them like 1 or 2. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed these 5 tips and tricks videos for newer players. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe for some more content. If you have any questions about some more tips and tricks, please leave a comment in the comment section below or follow me on Twitch. I stream Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern, and the link will be in the description below. Thank you, everybody, and good luck on the seas.